Anna, September the 10th, you make your Blackpool, your hometown debut.
Yeah.
Fight number 3 for you. First time on a VIP show.
Yeah.
I'm going to be speaking to your stablemate in Jackson Hume, because he's fighting on the show with you. But it's a night where hopefully we're going to get big time boxing back to Blackpool, because I know you've got a good fan base. I know Jackson has, from when I last filmed him fight. He brought a big team down. But we've got Roman Fury on there, making his debut.
Yeah.
So I think the whole Fury clan's going to be down there. So
it should be a really good night, because as well, I've noticed a lot of the other boxers are very local fighters. So, so it's going to be electric, definitely. And a lot of like people that Jackson knows and people that know like the other fighters on that show, we all pretty much know each other. So even if, say, someone doesn't buy a ticket from me that's there's a lot of people that will be there like rooting for us as well. So it's going to be really good atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those times when you say it's not 2 for the price of 1, but it's going to be 4 or maybe even 5 for the price of 1. Because Blackpool is it's not a small town, but it's a close-knit town, certainly boxing-wise anyway. So yeah, it's a show that we're looking to make a big impact and hopefully bring the nights back when Brian Rose and Jack Arnfield used to fight there, and it used to be bouncing in that place, you know, because when that balcony is full and the floor space is full, it's a brilliant night in there. I think when I first started with Steve 8-9 years ago, I remember going there one night and Adam Little was on there, Jack Arnfield was on there, and it was just, there must have been about 3,000 people in there, and it was a brilliant night.
Yeah, I really can't wait. I've been told that the atmosphere in that venue is sensational.
It is.
So unfortunately, I've never been to one myself.
But again, nice for you, because first time in Blackpool for yourself as a
in an
girl.
iconic venue like that as well. So.
But you're no longer a Blackpool girl, because you've now emigrated to Manchester.
I know. Yeah, I moved here like a year ago. It'll be pretty much a year ago next month, because I was working a full-time job as painter and decorator, commuting every single day. The money it was costing to even just be able to train in fuel was just ridiculous, you know, let alone all the other things that you have to include into your training. So it just made sense. But yeah, I love it here. Feels like
how long
home
have you been with Arnie now? Because when I first met you, you were training with Matthew Ellis. So how long have you been with Arnie now?
Well over a year now. I think when I came to Arnie, I think I came to Arnie in like maybe the March, April. So. Probably not sure off a year and a half maybe.
Because you waited a long time for your debut, because I remember it was in Sheffield, where it wasn't your real debut, it was an exhibition, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you got to, where was it now? Where did you make your debut?
Oh, my actual debut was on Frank Warren's dinner show in London.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and that nearly didn't happen. I had 9 scheduled bouts with like a million different opponents, and every single one of them fell through. And then it got to the point where like my whole team were just feeling so sorry for me. You know, I keep waking up, and I was in a solid camp for, I think it was like nearly 6 months, where I couldn't have any break, and I was this continuous training, getting ready for one date, it'd fall through, then we'd get another date that was like 4 or 5 weeks later, so we wouldn't have time to sort of recoup. We'd have to keep going into the same training camp and pushing through, and it was so mentally and physically draining. And then then 2 nights or something, 3 nights before the actual debut actually happened, we'd paid for the flights for the girl to come over, and she just said she's not getting on the flight, she didn't feel well, and just left us with no opponent. So we were just really like, oh my god, am I ever going to get this debut? And then the first original opponent that they ever applied for, which was Borislava, who was not back at the time for certain reasons by the Board of Boxing Control, they ended up saying, yeah, no, we'll accept that entry this time. And so luckily, she got straight on a plane down there for the weigh-in and COVID test and whatnot. And luckily she had both vaccines, because obviously at the time it was still required that you had to have 2 vaccines to come in the country. And yeah, we made that debut. thought I really didn't think it was going to happen, and I said to everybody that was, don't worry, she's just getting on the flight now, like you can stop like stressing and relax, like you've got a fight in 2 nights. And I was like, I won't believe it until she steps on them scales in front of me. So yeah.
It must be hard though, mentally hard for you, like I said, to keep yourself focused and keep yourself up.
Yeah.
I've got to touch on it because your last fight, you lost by a point to Becky Ferguson.
Yeah.
So what happened, was it just...
I don't want to see, like, obviously I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, so I won't go into what happened, but Arnie told me to pull out of the fight the week of the fight. We had certain complications in the last 10 days. Should not have got in that ring, but it was because of the debut.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it again. So got in the ring, and it showed in itself what happened. Taking absolutely nothing from Becky. She came down, she's the away opponent, lovely girl, we're still friends, like she's just a nice girl, and yeah, she did what she needed to do to steal the win. She won by 1 point. And yeah, it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating, and it makes you question everything. Makes you wonder if you belong in the sport, and you have all them self-doubt thoughts and the demons that come within. And yeah, I was depressed for a while. I think that's pretty normal as a boxer if you get a loss to feel down and depressed and doubt yourself. But I was straight back in the gym. I think I might have been on holiday maybe 4 days after to Cornwall for a couple of days, and then yeah, straight back in the gym. And just back at it, working away, grinding away.
So now the worst thing that can happen to you is in boxing, which is losing. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. Do you feel that you can take positives out of it?
Yeah, I do. I feel relieved. I didn't realise I would feel like that, after you get over the initial gut wrench.
Yeah.
But I do feel relieved because I have lost that at a very early stage. So for me,
easy to match,
as well. Yeah, and we get fight offers. Obviously, we accept them, but it's just nice because the pressure is off and people don't expect as much of you. Yeah. And I have always had trolls anyway, even before I lost the O. So you get it wherever you go, and it's just it's normal. It's part of the sport. It's part of being in the public eye. But you've just got to learn to just get on with it and go and prove them doubters wrong. And yeah, we won't be dropping down to that weight again. I'm not saying that was like a big part to play, but yeah, we won't be dropping down to that weight again. I don't think. I was gassing the week before the fight as well. I think maybe we dropped the weight a little bit too low. So I think welter to super welter, we're just going to test it. I'm sat at 72 kilos. So the next fight we're going into on the 10th will be somewhere between.
We've got 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I've just been watching you on the pad there with Arnie.
Feel a lot
She's looking
stronger.
nice and sharp. So I presume this is brilliant for you to come back, prove a few people wrong, and do it in front of all your own fans. So.
Yeah. When I used to fight before I turned pro, and we used to fight in Blackpool all the time, different venues obviously, never the Winter Gardens, but the atmosphere was always really, really good, because if I hadn't sold the tickets to someone else would sell the tickets to someone I know, and everyone's just, it's booming, and Blackpool people, they love to do your chants, and it's very, very vocal.
It's a brilliant night out. Boxing's always a brilliant night out, but when you've got the whole of Blackpool hopefully will come out, because young Jacob Rowe, very talented amateur, making a little bit of noise as a pro now. Yeah. He's got his former stablemate in Tyrone Bowen Price, whose father used to box there in the Power from the Tower in Craig Bowen Price. Yeah. So it's a real family affair down there, and like I say, you've got your stablemate who we're going to chat to, Jackson. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to see you get back to winning ways. Yeah. And hopefully I'll be chatting to you afterwards and saying win number 2.
Definitely. I'm excited, and now I live here as well. I've got another set of crowd of people, and
you'll be taking a little coach roll up there then?
Well, I probably won't organise a coach, too much drama for me, that make your own way down. I'll see you after, but yeah, all the gym always come in and support me, and I've made friends from getting a job up here and stuff.
What are you doing up here?
I actually work in this school that's the building, SMS Coach in Ginger Lines, so I'm a teaching assistant there. So yeah.
Right, brilliant. Well, listen, good.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming down.
No, my pleasure. Yeah. And like I say, hopefully we'll be chatting to you on the 10th and saying win number 2.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care, Hannah.
See you later.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP boxing promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.